No, we already talked about appreciating music for what it is, listening to if it's boring, if it lasting too long, So I told you the best thing to do was to leave the track for half an hour, a day, a week, a month, even maybe, depending on how long you worked on it, so that you could actually objectively maybe judge it and judge its elements and even the mixing, the production quality, the actual cohesion, the impacts, breaks, everything in it. Why is that so? Well, imagine if I worked on a track for a week. I really fed up with it. I listen to it every day, all day. It plays in my head when I go home from the studio. It plays in my head when I'm going to the studio. So I'm not really fit to objectively judge, is that song really that good as much as I think it is. Usually what happens to me is like today I'm making a song, it's all great and I'm feeling really excited, and then I go home, listen to it again because I carry it with me, of course. And then tomorrow morning I just relax, have my coffee, go to the studio, listen to the song, and I find so many things I don't like, so many things that I think are really horribly wrong. And I wonder, how could I have left that in the track? How could I have done that, listen to it, and feel great about it? But well, it's possible because you get your ears get saturated as you work on something, and of course having one musical theme repeat for you, you can't really judge. Let's say you play a song and you need to see if something is too long. When how are you going to judge if it's too long? You've been listening to the same thing for hours now. You can't just reset yourself and say, okay, now I'm going to listen from the beginning. Well, it doesn't work that way. You already listened to, let's say, this entire drop in a loop for 2 hours while making it. So it's not that easy to actually attain, that kind of filtration in your mind to say, okay, now I'm listening from the beginning. I'm going to reset and see if this is too boring, once it plays. It's not that easy. So the best thing to do is step away from the song, leave it to rest, come back to it after a certain period of time, and then you will see that almost immediately you will hear some things wrong, either in the mix or in the arrangement or with something that happens in there. And the more I work on a song, I realize that the more time I need to actually step away from it. So if I'm just working on a song, day to day, so every day I go home, come back tomorrow to the studio, work on the song, and I immediately hear something wrong. Now, if I work on the song for a week already, I get to the point where I actually don't feel like something's right, but I don't know what to do anymore. It all depends. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I finish everything in a week, but usually I'm gonna get so fed up with a song that it's boring to listen to anymore, And I'm that kind of a character. I listen to something I like on repeat until it's ruined, until I can't hear it anymore for another year. And I do that with all the favorite songs that that I hear that come out. I just play them on repeat like crazy. But that's just me. Not everybody does that. I'm saying about my track. If you're working on something in the studio, you're probably gonna be hearing a lot of it for a long period of time. And the only way to objectively judge it, I mean, subjectively judge it, but, with a fresh pair of ears, is to actually step away from it for a while and then actually hear it after a period of time. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be like somebody else's music. And you will hear all the bad parts in it. You will actually recognize what's bad in it. And that's the best help you can get, recognizing when something's wrong. The only way to judge a song, however you take it, is to actually step away, because then you can immediately hear what's wrong. And recognizing what is wrong is 90% of what you have to do. Once you recognize what is wrong, it's quite, I would say, if you have all the, theoretical knowledge and a lot of experience, it's really easy to fix. But if you don't know what is wrong, now that can be a problem. And why I'm saying this? Well, if we play a badly written, made song or a badly mixed song with bad production to anybody, even my mom can say, this doesn't sound that good. But if I had to ask her, like, what's wrong? What should we fix? She probably wouldn't know. She'd probably just say, I don't know, it's just wrong. And that's the answer you would get from most people who don't deal with music. So recognizing what is wrong is 80%. Let's not say 90, but 80% of what you need to do. as a music maker, sound engineer, audio engineer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer. So recognizing exactly what is wrong is more than half of the job done, and fixing it almost always can be done in many different ways using many different techniques. It just comes down to what somebody prefers, what sounds better to you as an engineer who is actually fixing the problem. So be mindful of that. Stepping away from a song for a period of time and then coming back to it and listening to it is going to make it easier for you to actually recognize what's wrong, and that's going to be more than half of the job that you need to do to make it better. For this reason, I never work on only one song at a time in any period in time. I always work on, usually it's mostly up to 5 or 10 songs even of my own. And when I'm talking about my own music. But even when I'm working as a mixing engineer for a client, and let's say they have a whole album to deal with, I usually work on all of the songs at the same time, gradually. So opening one, fixing what I immediately hear is wrong, opening the next one, fixing what I immediately hear is wrong, and this way it goes much faster. So by the time I listen to the song number 10, let's say, from the entire album, and fix what is wrong in that one, when I open the song number 1 again, it's like I never heard it, because that was ages ago. That was 10 songs before. So 10 songs ago, I heard that track, but now it's totally fresh because I heard so much different music in between. In the meantime, now it's easy for me to again judge on some things and say, oh, whoa, this is not good, fix it up. And I do this process many times in a day. So that's why I always work on, even with my own music, I work on more than one song at a time so that I can actually do that process. So that I can step away from one and work on the other one. And let's face it, I don't really always have ideas for each one of the songs. Sometimes I might have an idea for one, but the other one I really don't know what to do with. And that really helps with me being busy. Because if I worked on only one song and today I don't know what to do with it, what am I going to do? Go home? Well, I have to do something. So I have another song that needs to be mixed, or another one that needs, a new bass line. So I'm just going to deal with that. I'm going to open the one that talks to me and in which I see something that I can do, and I do it. And this way I stay productive and more effective with the usage of my time.